Hello everyone, it's Lion here with HobbiesofaMan. Once again, today we're doing another haul video for the month of August. It's going to be smaller maybe than usual or than it has been in the last couple of months, I think. But it'll be a bit more concentrated. There's going to be a lot less miscellaneous and stuff like that. It's just going to be manga and comic books with a little bit of a detour here at the beginning to show you something else that I got. So let's get started here with the figures. This month I got two brickheads. I got the One Piece brickheads, which are Luffy and Buggy. I wonder why they started with these. I feel like it would have made more sense to have Luffy and Zoro. And maybe it's because Zoro requires like extra work. Like they need to figure out how to put the swords on his, what's it called? His waist, and figure out if they're gonna have him holding a sword or not. I wonder if that's why it is, where Buggy and Luffy are pretty simple to do. Although Buggy has some interesting techniques in his head in order to make him have his hair like that, right? But I hope we get more of these. I think this is a nice kind of starting thing. You have the main character and the first villain from the series, where I hope that we get Nami and Usopp and Arlong and all the other characters from season 1 at some point. I wonder how they're gonna decide to do that. I think another one where we have Nami and Arlong makes sense. And then one with Zoro and Sanji, probably another like two-piece set. And then Usopp kind of gets to go by himself, I guess. Although you could have him with Kobe, like Usopp and Kobe. Maybe, I'm not really sure. I don't necessarily think we need like a Kuro Blackhead, Captain Kuro Blockhead or anything like that, or sorry, Brickhead. But I am curious to see how they're gonna do this. And I hope that these sell well because I really like them and I want more. And these were pretty easy to build. They're very accessible and they're only $10. So they're pretty cheap. They cost less than Funko Pops at this point, which is actually kind of surprising because usually when I think of Lego, I think of like the most expensive, like kid-friendly collecting hobby there is. But these are cheaper than brickheads, than Funko Pops, which is good because I like these better than Funko Pops, right? So yeah, that's it for the figures. Let's move on to the comic books here. And let's start with the comic book magazine that I got this month, which is Heavy Metal issue 2. This is a Elric of Melniboné cover. That's Elric with his sword. I can't remember the name of the sword. And actually, let me move this down a little bit so you guys can see easier what I'm talking about. And yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about this. It's a really good issue. I really liked it. There's some stories that can continue on from last issue, and there's a bunch of new ones. And I really enjoyed the editorial aspect of the magazine, the information that's shared with us. The dossier was also quite good. It tells us the origin of pulp and some of the special pulps that came out. Enki Bilal's Bug was fine. And I did like the Millstone story, the Gladiatrix story, and there's one or two other ones that I really liked as well that were pretty great out of this. But I think I like some of the stories here less than I did, or at least the selection of them, a little bit less than I did in issue 1. So hopefully issue 3 ends up being better. But that's just because I have particular taste compared to other people that like heavy metal. I'm not necessarily maybe the person that they're trying to sell to, right? I feel like this is more of a nostalgia kind of thing where they're trying to sell to people that were in their teenage years in the 80s and the 90s when this was popular, right? Which are people much older than I am. So if that's the people that they're trying to appeal to, it makes sense that I don't necessarily like some of these stories as much. So it is what it is. I don't really have any problems with it though. I will continue to buy it because I really like it. I like the concept a lot, right? And then to continue on with single issues, we have a big pile of them here. So we have Rivals Ignite and Rivals Hellfire Gala. The Ignite issue was awesome. The Hellfire Gala issue was not very good. I didn't really like it. Then we have Godzilla vs. Kong 3 and Godzilla vs. Kong 2. This is pretty fun. I do enjoy this series, although I think it's more focused, but somehow a little bit less enjoyable than the first series, which is, kind of weird. You would expect that something that's more focused would be much better to read, but I guess that because the setting is different, now it doesn't allow for as much spontaneity as before, and that makes it a little bit more linear and a little bit less exciting, right? We have Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man number 19. This series is great. I really love it. And this issue was good, although it did kind of give me some moments of questioning Hickman's writing style, because there's kind of a few moments here where it doesn't quite work for me the way that he does things. Like the idea that Felicia is angry at Richard when Richard should be angry at her feels, I don't know, I don't like it. I don't know, there's some other things there, but you can watch my review for that if you want. Skull Island number 2. This is fairly okay. I'm mostly collecting it because it's too late for me to cancel at this point. Here's Heatseeker number 2. This was not bad. The cover is really the best part of this issue, but the story's been pretty good. It's a bit better than the previous Gun Honey series, so I like that. Gehenna Naked Progression. This is pretty fun as well. If you're a fan of Heatseeker or something like Lady Killer, you might like this as well because it's pretty enjoyable. Trinity, Daughter of Wonder Woman. This is pretty fun. This version of her goes back in time. She meets, not Tim Drake, what's his name? Jason Todd. And she has a crush on him, which I don't know how that works. Or if there's like something sus about that. Because he is like, you know, in her real timeline, he'd be like 30 years old. Where she's like 14. Maybe, I think so. That's kind of a bit weird. You have Red Sonja Attacks Mars. I'm collecting these for the cards, and it's been a long time since 3 and 4 came out, and they still haven't arrived at my store, so I don't know if I'll really end up finishing collecting the series, but I at least have the first 2, which is fine, I guess. Herculoids 3. Lovely cover. I really enjoyed this by Dan Panosian. Thundercats Lost, number 2. Aquaman, number 5. Rogue-san, 27. Herculoids 4. Push this so it's a little bit cleaner. There we go. Thundercats Lost, number 3. Aquaman, number 6. I like these covers a lot, but I'm gonna stop collecting it after issue 8. Here's Rogue-san, number 28. Aquaman, number 7. Skull Island, number 1. Really cool cover there. Herculoids, number 5. Awesome cover. Thundercats Lost, number 4. I don't normally like JLE covers, but this one's pretty cool. Conan the Barbarian, number 23. Awesome cover here by Greg Staples. Much better than the Dan Panosian main cover that they had for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess they didn't give him enough feedback when he was doing that. But the Greg Staples one is really good. Here's Gehenna number 1. I love this cover style. I'm not usually a fan of like the massive amounts of empty space, but it just really frames the characters really nicely in this. So I like it. Superman, Absolute Superman number 10. Pretty cool story, although I think most people like this least out of all of the absolutes that they have released so far. Which is kind of interesting to me. I kind of understand that. I mean, Batman is really popular, so he's going to sell regardless of whether people like it or not. Superman is kind of weird. This story is definitely odd. It doesn't live up to the ideal of the universe, in my opinion, that well, but also it's just really swinging and you don't know where it's going. And I don't mind, I actually like it. I think it's interesting because I don't really have this like deep-seated need for everything to follow like my understood lore, you know, most of the time. So it doesn't really matter, especially when it comes to like mainline superheroes, because their lore changes every freaking day. It doesn't make a difference, right? And Wonder Woman is like the generational run for the grouping as far as I can tell. But I was not really all that interested in the art style, and I think I will collect that one in trades. But I just don't want to collect it in singles for whatever reason, right? So yeah, now moving on to collected editions. I have 3 of them this month. So we have DC Mech hardcover. This and the Jurassic League series, which I recently reviewed, kind of came out around the same time, or at least I heard about them at the same time. And that one ended up being pretty disappointing. So hopefully this one's not too bad. It looks pretty cool. I just like the idea of like superheroes having mechs. So I'm looking forward to that. And it does seem like the art style is at least going to be consistent across this series, which is already putting it at, ahead of the Jurassic League. So we'll see how this goes. I got this for $10 off Amazon, which is really nice. They had a coupon and a normal, Amazon discount, so it was pretty good. Then we call them Giants. I got this because it was really cheap, $10. It's a graphic novel, so I don't have to go out of my way to collect anything else. This is the whole thing, and it's by Kieran Gillen, who's a creator I am interested in learning about. I like his storytelling, but I've not really found the story that I like from him quite yet. I enjoyed power fantasy, but I didn't like the art style on that one. I like the Eternal stuff, but I couldn't bother to collect it all because that's when I started getting the comic books, and I wanted to stay away from Marvel stuff at the time. And what else have I wanted to pick up from him? I want to pick up his Star Wars stuff, Dr. Aphra and Darth Vader. I just haven't had the chance to. So I saw this, I thought it was interesting, and I know that Comic Pop really like this series or find it really appealing in some way, and particularly one of the creators on Comic Pop actually really loves Kieran Gillen's work. So hopefully I like it as well. If not, it's no big deal. I didn't spend that much money on it. And then to finish off this set of stuff, we have Superman House of Brainiac. This is the third volume in the Williamson run of Superman. This is the event that kind of combines all of the Superman stuff before the Summer of Superman happened. And this is Joshua Williamson and Mark Russell. Seems to be a lot of Brainiacs. It's kind of funny. This one looks like he's based on The Rock, which is funny. And looking forward to this. The artwork seems to be pretty consistent mostly, so I'm excited about that. That's really good. And I'm looking forward to reading this and continue on with collecting Joshua Williamson's storytelling, because his Superman has been really fun to read. So there you go. Those are all of the things that I collected comic book wise. We're moving to manga now, and I'm going to move this out of the way just so I have a lot of space to talk about the manga, because we have one massive book today to talk about, and that is Young Magazine from Kodansha. This is basically the equivalent to like a single issue grouping, I guess. Like all of the single issues that are under this imprint get collected into a single volume, and they get sold at comic book stores and different places across Japan, right? This is a special magazine they made just for the US. It's called Young Magazine. It has 20 issues in it. Now, 4 of them are by previous creators that are really famous here in the States. They're introducing a new series that these creators have worked on that are releasing elsewhere, or in some way just kind of helping you get hyped about the magazine, right? 16 of these are stories that were made by creators specifically to appeal to American audiences, and we as the fandom and the people that are invested in this should go vote on the favorite 5 that we have, so that we can see which of them will get serializations, right? So this is a pretty cool concept. I think it's much better than what we do here in the States when it comes to with comic books. And this was awesome because it was given to me for free. So if you go to Kinokuniya, which is a special Japanese specialty store, you can get copies of this for free. You can get 1 copy per person, which I assume means every time you go to the store, you can get 1 copy, but really you should only get 1 copy or maybe 2 copies if you want per person total. And you're gonna have the ability to look through and read through 20 different manga chapters that are all going to be starting, or most of them are going to be launching a series that hopefully gets to be serialized and hopefully collected in physical editions going forward here in the States. And it looks really awesome. Most of these are pretty cool. Some of them were not really my favorite. I didn't quite like them, but that's because the creators are trying to make sure that they appeal to as many audiences as possible, right? The editors are trying to make it so that there's a lot of stuff going on that a lot of us can enjoy, so that they can have a far-reaching kind of result, right? And it's really cool. I like this concept a lot. I think it's very great, and I think they did the right thing by launching it now when Metal Hurlant, Heavy Metal, the Savage Sword of Conan have all been coming back and seeming to reach success in some ways. To release this comic anthology, this manga anthology magazine, they did it at the right time, and I really appreciate that, and I think that it's very good. Hopefully it works out for them quite well. Then we have the normal manga here. So at the end of last month, I ended up acquiring Delicious Dungeon number 9. So I'm very excited about that. I'm looking forward to reading through this. This is all new material. I've never read it before. Very excited about that. Now we have Golden Kamui number 6. I got this from Half Price Books. It does have a little bit of damage here, but nothing too serious. I don't really mind too much, so we're gonna keep it. Now we have another Ryoko Kiwi series. We have 7 Little Sons of the Dragon. This is an anthology, 7 different stories, and they all seem to be pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to reading through them, but I don't know too much about them. I also got this from Half Price Books, and it's pretty yellowed, which is not great, but it's whatever. Don't really mind too much. Now we have Blue Lock number 20. Just got this yesterday, I think, and I'm very excited about this. All new stuff. I've never read through this, and I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoy the Egoist saga. Then we have, let's see, Go-Go Loser Ranger number 4. Finally getting back to collecting this series. I still need number 5 to catch up to the latest volume that I own. I'll read through them and then decide if I want to keep collecting the series. We have Shadow House. I bought this from Jerry from Waifu and Me. And I don't know, this is a series that I had heard about when it was being released in Spain. Then it started releasing in English and I never ended up picking it up. I finally got around to it thanks to Jerry selling off a bunch of his manga because he was moving, and I got it from him in person, which is cool. And had a nice chat with him, bought it, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And then we have Dragon and Chameleon, book 3 by Ryo Ishiyama. This is really awesome. If you like a story about making stories, you'll like this, and I love this character as well. She's really ridiculous. And I read through this already. It was really, really fun. I liked it a lot. Can't wait for volume 4. Then we have Ida 10. I bought this from Jerry as well. This is the Ida 10 Deities No Only Piece. This is by Kokyo Shinja, or at least the art is, and I'm looking forward to that because I love his art style, which is really weird because mostly I think that this kind of cartoony vibe is not really for me, but this series, I don't know anything about it. I just know that it was made by Kokyo Shinja, and I'm looking forward to it, although I think it's like, the name doesn't actually match what's in the story. So we're looking forward to reading through that and seeing if I like it or not. And yeah, that's all the stuff that I collected this month. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you picked up this month. What was your favorite purchase? I think mine was probably the Young magazine, although I didn't really even buy it, just because I love the idea of it and I like the concept that they're working through. And I hope that this actually continues. I want to see Young magazine going forward in the States being available to buy at different locations. I think that'd be really, really cool. And I hope that it does come true, but who knows? We'll see what happens. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time.